want to understand.
Interfered in the discussion.
We Muslims,
don't
we
touch
Muslims want to
he
know
didn't allow
the
people to
difficulty
finish.
that you
No,
have
he
with
came
Islamic
and interfered in the
principles.
discussion.
Right? Fine.
came
So
and interfered
if
in
you
the
have a
discussion.
principle where it says, look after
So
your
no
own
respect, didn't even
parents.
ask to
Don't
be
put them
involved,
into
just
old
interfered.
people's homes, but look after them.
Interfered.
Yeah? So this Sharia principle, you would not disagree with.
Educate me about what?
Or would you?
Principles, rules, regulations.
So
That's the rule.
Yeah, in general. Yes, I
No.
I'm
That
butting
specific
into
rule
discussion.
about Muslims are not
Taking some
allowed to
respect.
put their
That is
parents
lack of
when they reach
education.
old
That is lack of
age
good education.
to old people's homes and not looking after their old parents themselves.
Yeah.
Would you say Islamic principle of looking after your old parents when they reach old age, you disagree or you agree?
Never once said we
I
disagree.
agree with that. That's a nice thing to do.
Fine. So
Yeah,
now,
that's a nice thing to do. That's a nice thing to do, yeah.
So you're
fine.
interfering.
So now we realize there are lots of rules and regulations. It's not necessarily with all of them you disagree.
Right. I know.
Good.
Yeah.
So what are those rules and regulations in Islam that you have disagreements with?
Apostasy, homosexuals.
Okay.
Cutting off hands and feet.
So
It takes two
Man,
testimonies
what
of
do
a
you
woman
Alright.
is equal to
For
be
one
equal as
man.
one man.
One at a time.
One at a time, exactly.
One at a time. Apostasy, homosexuals, testimony. That's the three things I've heard already so far, right? Are you a believer in God?
They're pretty
No.
bad things. No.
You know. So if God sets the rules and principles saying, okay, this is how you should live your life and govern your lives, would you follow those laws if you believe in God?
I'm not a Muslim.
If you believed
Well,
in
if I
God,
was a Christian, I suppose I'd follow the
we're looking
Ten
at principles now,
Commandments, yeah?
principles, right? In this country, the society puts some rules and regulations for everyone to follow.
Yeah.
So if that country put a regulation that anyone who becomes a rebel to this country, right, we're going to execute them. If you commit treason, we're going to execute you. You might have some disagreement with that, but they can pass a law like that easily, right? Like they have done in many countries, where if you become a person who commits treason against the state, like imagine now you're working in the military or in the secret services, MI6 or CIA. No, it's important.
You're talking about Sharia again. I have stated so many times.
No,
I'm not specifically
we are going to establish how we can understand these things, right? So when we have, for example, this military intelligence, secrets of a society, of a country, of a nation, are you allowed to disclose that to your enemy state, for example? If you did that and the society said you will be punished either by capital punishment, execution, lethal injection, imprisonment, whatever, would you say I disagree with that? Would you?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I feel like we're in the
Right, but still, laws have been passed, like in America and various other countries, where committing treason, acts of treason, actually deserves capital punishment or severe punishment, if not capital punishment.
Treason
Yes.
in America. Right, come on then, carry on.
Yeah. Do you know what treason in America?
Carry on. What's the point? I don't
No,
know
no.
what your point is.
It's not
I
the
really
point.
don't.
The point is you need to understand why would treason be
Why are we talking about treason?
because it's linked with the
With-
discussion we're having.
What was the discussion we were having? Because you seem to not
Apostasy,
know what it was.
homosexuality, and
No,
witnesses.
it wasn't Sharia. You commandeered it to talk about Sharia.
Sorry.
Well, that's where we are now.
You
This
gave
is
an
not the
example.
discussion I was
Remember,
talking about, like.
as I came along,
And now you're
and I
just
wanted to
talking
know.
about something I
I
don't
wanted
know
to know
what you're talking about.
what's the disagreement in Sharia. I gave an example about Muslims
But I
carrying
didn't
their.
have, first of all, well, I didn't
So you
know
don't have a
what
problem
you're
with
talking
Sharia then? There's no point discussing about
I
any of the
don't know.
Sharia.
Yeah,
You can believe what you want
That's
until
fine.
you do Sharia over there.
So let's not talk about Sharia. Let's talk about existence of God, because that's the crucial point.
I don't believe in God, so why would you want to talk to me about that?
I want to know what's the reason for your disbelief in a creator? Is it because the lack of evidence or the evidence against the creator?
Lack of evidence.
Lack of
Lack of
evidence and
evidence.
science.
Fair enough.
Science! Yeah, literally
Science.
science.
The key to-
Fine.
to life.
Lack of evidence
A
and
beautiful,
science.
beautiful way that the world
It is a lot more beautiful than a book.
Fantastic way to
That's
describe
good.
it.
So, what kind of evidence, or what type of evidence, what type of evidence would convince you that there is a creator, there is a God?
Sorry, say it again.
What type of evidence would convince you, without a
There
shadow
is
of
no
doubt,
evidence.
that
That's
there's
why I'm not a
creator?
believer.
I don't know.
No, he's asking what type of evidence.
I don't know. I don't know what's sufficient
I feel like a lot of people
Evidence.
believe. I feel like
I
in
don't know.
Right.
when people are scared,
Okay. Do you agree with the
You have a
what's your name,
YouTube
sorry?
channel?
Marcus, my name.
Mark and Mansur?
You have a
you?
YouTube channel.
Jess and Mark, you told us in this discussion you cannot have any evidence. There is no evidence. If you say there is no evidence,
think there's any
there cannot be any evidence, then can you say, I don't believe in a creator because of lack of evidence? Because you've already closed up your evidence portfolio saying
Why
there
would I
cannot be.
believe in something that there's no evidence to believe
Just
in?
because you...
Just to clarify that point too. If you already believe and have this conviction that there cannot be any evidence for a creator, and then when somebody asks you, why don't you believe, you say, lack of evidence. Can you use that?
No, if someone brought sufficient evidence to me, I'd be like, okay,
No,
I'll
no,
give it
for
that.
Mark,
be
for
open
Mark.
to it. I'd be
Yeah,
open to
Because
it,
you didn't claim what Mark did.
No, he said there is no evidence, which I
Okay,
agree. At the
so
moment,
if-
currently, there's no
if-
evidence. If someone brought it, I'd look at it.
Have you heard? Have you been spoken to? Have you been spoken to?
Okay, I want to understand Mark's position, right?
My
And
position
just
It's
your
not,
position.
there is no evidence to us. We don't believe in God. I don't know what you're
What
trying to get.
type of evidence would convince you? Because when you say there's a
I
lack
have
of
no
evidence.
idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
If you don't have any idea, then you cannot say lack of evidence because evidence may be all around you and you don't know that this is the
Right,
evidence.
so I gotta believe in something
see,
But
just
that's
because.
you.
Isn't
That's
it?
you assigning things around you to
No,
the
no.
narrative you wish. That's not me.
That's not what I do. I haven't offered you any
Right.
evidence.
Well, mate, I don't believe in God. You're not going to
No.
get me to.
Just, I have not offered you any evidence whatsoever or counter evidence. Absolutely saying. Not subjective to
If
yourself.
I prayed to God and He spoke back to me like, yo, what's going on, Mark? I'm like, fair. God's real.
Not like.
Become a delusional.
So let's understand.
Say if Jess is in like, say if Jess is in intensive care, she's about to die, and I was like, fuck it, I'll pray to God, like, please bring Jess alive, and all of a sudden Jess is cured. I wouldn't then be like, oh, it must be God. He must have touched her heart.
Let's she answered your question already. She won't accept that as an evidence.
I don't.
So you're coming up with types of evidence which you'd reject yourself.
Bringing some sort of argument as if that's what we were disputing.
No,
We're
I'm
atheists.
saying
not trying to
the
talk to
only
you
way
about God.
we as
I don't know
believers
why
in
you're
a
trying to do
creator,
it.
Jess, the only way we as believers in a creator can offer you any evidence is when you understand that evidence is acceptable to you or not. What type of evidence is acceptable to you or not? If I say, for example, oh, the reason I believe in a creator because it changed my life, and you say, well, you read a book of Harry Potter and that can change your life.
I wouldn't say anything to you, mate, because you can believe what you want.
Yeah, I would
That's why
respect
are you
you
standing
believe
here
what you
trying to get me to understand your version
Yes,
of
yes.
evidence?
I'm not
don't
offering
see it.
you
I don't-
any
I'm not
version of
trying to
evidence.
find it. I'm fine the way I am. I live my life for me. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Yeah, I
I'm not
believe in
looking for
myself.
it.
I believe in
Please
You
stop
can-
asking me to-
He will
What's the
supply you
message?
the evidence once you give him your criteria. You said lack of evidence. Yeah? Now, what kind of evidence you want?
I don't want any evidence.
So why you
I
said
don't want
lack of
anything
evidence?
from this
Why you
discussion.
use the word evidence?
I didn't ask this man to
You
discuss
brought
with
the
me
word
why I
evidence.
didn't
Why I didn't
God or
believe.
not.
He asked me why I
He
didn't
asked me
believe.
why I
You
didn't believe in
brought
God,
the
and now he's
word
trying to tell me
evidence
that
by saying
there can be
lack of evidence.
this
Well, that is the reason. I
Can you
don't
answer,
believe.
please? Have you said lack of evidence or not? Have you
I
said?
may have, yeah.
Okay. Question
You're
for
trying to catch me
you.
out on something, mate. I'm not
No,
fully
it's not about catching
convinced
out.
for this
Just,
debate.
this is not about catching
I'm
out.
not trying to debate this.
No, this is not about catching out. This is all just having a mutual understanding of each other. So at the end of the discussion, hopefully I'll learn something from you and something from you, and perhaps you learn something from us. That's all. That's only fair, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not here
Because-
to
No,
because-
we did come to sort of
No.
respect. Say, I came to
I
listen to
cannot.
this discussion. Now you're asking me why I don't.
No one can force anyone their belief. Belief system is something that we accept ourselves.
Yeah.
You cannot force me to believe in something, and I cannot force you to believe in
Yeah.
something, right?
But why
So
can't- why-
having that common ground, it's just a matter of sharing and understanding. You asked a very interesting question because you're not interested. You don't want. You haven't been asking for evidence. Why am I offering one? Or why am I even
Yeah,
interested in one?
yeah.
The reason why is because it's just what we call like, if I'm a human being, human beings, we don't live isolated lives like individuals and that's it. I care only for myself. We care of others. That we value our companionship, friendship, overall humanity. For example, if Mark, for example, needed some help and there was no one around, I was the only one to help him. If I didn't help him and I had the ability to help him, what would that tell me about myself? I'm a very bad individual in every standard that you can think of. Morality, religion, no religion whatsoever. So when we are living in a society, we are living collectively. We need to live with compassion, mercy, kindness, generosity, justice. This is something that we generally, universally share. So if I consider in my belief system, in my conviction, that yes, this life is not the end of it. When we die, that's not the end of everything. There will be another life. There will be a accountability where I have to stand in front of my creator who created me. And you likewise, everyone likewise, to say and to justify our belief and our actions. Did we rightly believe in what we're supposed to have believed and fulfill our purpose? Did we do all the right things, good things that we are supposed to have? And if we don't do it and we end up in a place of torment and torture, now I might be a person who says, yeah, so what if you go to hell? But look at it. That would be mean what? A selfish individual who doesn't care about the well-being of other human beings. So if I know that from my conviction, there is a hereafter, there is paradise and hellfire, place of happiness and a place of torture. And I know that people often don't think about it, and then they will live their life as they wish, and no one's going to change that if they don't want to.